Ricky Starks and Brian Cage did a package about the match that absolutely none of us want to see. And then, here we go. I don't know if it's better that they leave FTR sitting at home and we see all those pictures they tweet of them sitting on their decks in the Carolinas, staring out at the woods, contemplating peaceful life. I don't know whether it's better we see those or they actually make them come to work and then put them in joke matches like this. A 6-man tag with Shawn Spears, who I think we've already established nobody ever wants to see do anything again, with Tully and Wardlow in their corner against 3 of the 18 members of the Dork Order. Why is the Dork Order still again? Tony, you just picked up Bryan Danielson and CM fucking Punk and Adam Cole. And the Dork Order is still on your television show. Why are they still existing as a group? Why is this a 6-man tag? Why cannot FTR, the best tag team in wrestling, rehabilitate themselves by getting a tag team win on their program, since all they do is fucking put more people over than goddamn George South ever dreamed of and basically lay around on the mat waiting for somebody else to cover them? Who gives a shit that the Dork Order are arguing with each other when we still don't know them apart? Interchangeable job guys with masks on and people with no personality yelling at each other in phony groups. They showed a horrible pre-tape of all the Dork Order yelling at each other until one of the girls told them all off. So they were dressed down by a 120-pound blonde and shut up by her. And then they go out to fight the best tag team in the world. Early on in this contest, which the early part consisted primarily of Shawn Spears getting the shit kicked out of him and having a million indie spots done to him by the Dork Order. Apparently FTR didn't want to participate in any of that foolishness. Did you hear Jim Ross mention, well, back when I started refereeing, such as for the first 120 years of wrestling, once you tagged in to a match, you had, remember I've mentioned this, once you tag in, you have to make contact with your opponent before you can tag back out. He brought that up. That's the way it used to be, but they've forgotten that too, along with all the rest of the rules. Every time that FTR got in the ring, one of them, either Dax or Cash, you could tell how bad they want to wrestle. Instantly, the intensity level picks up. Instantly, the professionalism picks up. Instantly, there's something going on. It's like watching Pavarotti sing in a fucking high school play. Suddenly, in the midst of this, whatever they're doing here amongst this indie level talent, shit suddenly happens. It's magic. And then they tag back out. But FTR got some heat on Little Brutus there, because the 3 members of the Dork Order, it was Pizzeria Uno, Dick Grayson, and Little Brutus. So they got heat on Brutus, but because Brutus is one of the people arguing with the other half of the Dork Order, Brutus made his own comeback. Because they were having miscommunication, so they can't tag each other. So he made his own comeback, but then he had a double knockout with Pizzeria Uno, who was on the apron of the ring, and then they hit Brutus with a triple team. And guess who pinned Little Brutus? Spears! Spears got the pin. So again, a team of job guys that cannot be defeated until they make their own mistake. After the babyface they got the heat on makes his own comeback after these 3 heels have beaten him up, then the babyfaces, job guys, make a mistake allowing the heels to win the match, and Spears gets the pin instead of either member of FTR. What is FTR's television and pay-per-view record this year? Just in the year 2021, they won a tag team match against Santana and Ortiz where they couldn't do the finish that was planned because Cash got his arm fucking ripped open to shreds by their substandard ring. So then after he got well, they brought them back and rematched it so Santana and Ortiz could beat him flat in the middle of the ring. They've been in a bunch of multi-man chaos matches with these stupid groups where they usually are on the losing end. If they win, they certainly never get the pin. What have they wrestled 4 tag team matches this year? And have they won more than the one that was fucked up by Cash's injury?
I'm actually trying to find them on the roster.
They do
page.
a good job of covering up. Every time FTR does win something, the attention is put somewhere else. Usually they don't win anything. Most of the time they're lost in the crowd. And while we have to watch the rappers and the luchas and the cosplayers and every other tag team have weekly matches that last 30 minutes, we get FTR once in a blue moon, and somewhere or another, they just kind of disappear again. Because every time they get in the ring, they show the inadequacies and shortcomings of almost everybody else in the tag team division. Oh, remember that Young Bucks program between the 2 teams that differing fan bases thought were the greatest teams in the world, and we can't wait to see this collision? One time, FTR does the job, they get sent back home, and then the Bucks turn heel to take their place. Fucking hell, this is... Ray Charles could see this shit.
For the record, I'm looking on the page, and certainly there's something wrong looking at the math here, but for just Dax Harwood of FTR.
Yes.
In 2021, his overall record is 11-4. It says in singles matches, he's 0-2. In tag team matches, he's 6-1. And in trios matches, 3-0. Now, you may be saying that does not equal 11-4, and you would be correct. So I'm not sure where the discrepancy comes from, but those are the only matches shown here.
And also,
6-1 as a tag team.
Where?
Exactly.
Where are they hiding all these?
In 9 months.
YouTube?
In 9 months.
But wait a minute, on YouTube, we haven't seen them win 6 tag team matches on their television program. Are they hiding it on YouTube?
They must be.
Well, when the Midnight Express or Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, or Nick Bockwinkel and Ray Stevens, or any other tag team in history got together and entered a new promotion, I would say they probably won 6 matches the first fucking week. And then the Dork Order got in a fight with itself, and the 2 girls came out and bitched at them. So, yeah, so now they're being told what to do by the girls, who are obviously smarter and probably tougher than they are. Speaking of FTR, Tony Schiavone interviewed Tully Blanchard. Did you see this? I was shocked.
I did see this, and I'm going to tell you at the top a thought I had. Because you had said something a few weeks back, whenever the last time Tully talked was.
Yes.
You said, Brian, do you understand what he said?
Yes.
So I paid attention this week, and I've come to the conclusion that Tully Blanchard is incoherent. I have no idea what he was saying.
I don't know what to place the blame upon. Because before, a couple of times, there was one with Arn Anderson. I said, these guys were tremendous, all-time great promo men, but they seem to be trying to explain a story that they have been told and that they don't understand themselves, but they're trying to explain it the way it was explained to them. In this case, I couldn't tell whether somebody suggested to Tully that he say this in this fashion and he didn't get it, or he botched it, or whatever, but I didn't understand a fucking thing he was saying, except that he asked for Spears versus Darby Allin next week, and he challenged Sting. One more time, you and me, Stinger. Oh, no, please. Oh, God, please. No, please. Put me in the theater for a bunch of William Castle horror movies and let the Tingler climb up my leg. Anything but that. They couldn't possibly be teasing Tully and Sting at this point in the world, could they?
I don't understand what the point of Tully is. I was excited about the idea he was going to be involved early on.
Tully Blanchard managing the new incarnation of Tully Blanchard Arn Anderson, FTR.
Yeah.
And since then, Tully never speaks. Possibly now we know why. He never interferes. He's been babyface as much as he's been a heel. This is not a traditional manager-wrestler relationship, to be mild about it. None of it makes a lick of fucking sense. And now he tried to somehow draw a correlation between what Spears did in the 6-man to that's the reason why they want Spears and Darby next week. I don't understand. And the thing with Sting, I don't understand.